Welcome to another marketing strategy session. I'm your host, Mr. Marketology, and today I have Nikunj on with me. We're talking about the essentials, the background, the backbone when it comes to marketing. And we're going to talk about e-commerce, but we're also going to talk about how you know if your e-commerce system is really working, and that's analytics. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me here.
Great. Now, let's talk about, I guess you would say, the dirty little secret, the person the essence that nobody really talks about when it comes to marketing. And that's the analytics. What actually shows you what success really looks like.
Absolutely. So for those of you in the audience who don't know me, I am a co-founder at Shopper.ai. It's a marketing analytics platform for e-commerce sellers. So we had a company, we used to build analytics solutions for enterprises. Last year we started working in this domain with one of our clients. And that is where we spoke to a lot of people who used to spend tons and tons of money on Facebook ads, Google ads and marketing campaigns, email campaigns and stuff like that. And when I was talking to these people, I told them how do you decide when this particular campaign works and this doesn't work? How do you make sense out of it? You are spending thousands of dollars behind these campaigns. Once the campaign doesn't work out, you just kill it and then move on, right? So I asked them why don't you look at the historical data and understand what is working, what is not working, why certain campaigns performed well and why certain did not. So nobody had very good answer to that, and that is where it clicked us that a lot of people are spending money and then they don't actually analyze the data and figure out the insights which is lying around there, right? So we started building, putting up a quick prototype of Shopper, where we fetch data from their e-commerce stores, and then we fetch data from their ad accounts, and then just put some algorithms together to give them insights as basic as these are the top locations from which your customers are coming in, right? And in your ad, you are targeting completely different locations, right? So if you keep on targeting these locations which are best performing for your products, you will definitely get more results, right?
Okay.
These are basic insights that we give them. People tried those insights out and they got wonderful results. So that is where we put together the idea of building a whole SaaS product around it. Right now we have about 1,500 plus users on the platform. A lot of people are using it. Even agencies are using it for their clients to help them with real-time reporting and things like that.
Okay. Now I've got a couple of questions that came to mind. First of all, how many times have you run across customers that, first of all, don't even have the analytics in place? So they start running the ads and they don't really have any type of analytics. I mean, sometimes not even the Facebook pixel to track. How many times do you run across that?
That happens a lot. All the time people forget the basic things like setting up pixels to track their conversions, right? So they are just newbies who just started drop shipping. They read it on internet, this is how to run Facebook ads, and they would jump on the gun and start running campaigns even without setting up basic things. No doubt Facebook dashboard gives you a lot of details of campaign performance and stuff, but it is very hard for a newbies to understand what does CPC, CAC and those jargons means, right? So that is what we did. So we took that data and simplified the whole representation of it. So we create a very nice looking dashboard, very simple to understand around these ads dashboard, so that people at least look at those matrices, basic matrices that they need to track on day-to-day basis, and then can make sense out of their money that they are spending on ads.
Okay. Now the second question that I have, you transition to that very well. When it comes to the Facebook data or any ad platform data and the actual analytics that are on the e-commerce side, how often do you see those numbers not really matching up? You're seeing the ads say that you had so many conversions, but then when you look at your actual back end of your cart, you're not seeing it. How often do you see that playing out?
That happens a lot. So I run couple of my own e-commerce stores,
Mm-hmm.
and like we monitor it very closely. Even though that like Facebook would tell us that you have generated 12 sales today,
Mm-hmm.
when I go to my dashboard, it is just like 6 or 7. So that
Okay.
happens a lot. So they end up tracking a lot of wrong conversions,
Mm-hmm.
and then people are misled by those information. So if you don't have like end-to-end tracking in sync with your store dashboard and on your Facebook analytics dashboard,
Mm-hmm.
then you won't know like what is happening. So the problem that happens is in most cases, like if the store is big enough, they would hire an agency who would be managing the Facebook ads, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the agency would only see the Facebook ads account data, and the store owner would see the store analytics data. And
Mm-hmm.
the agency would say that we delivered results, like we generated 50 sales, but in actual it was only 30 or 25, right? So
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Um, so when looking at that, how do you properly bridge the data gap? You know, how do you I wouldn't say dispute, but you say, okay, this makes more sense. It actually is this, and then adjust your methods accordingly to that data. How do you do that?
could be multiple reasons of this data being wrong. So sometimes people like misconfigure their pixels. So
Okay.
they check the same conversion twice. So they have set up in a way that even the person is clicking the purchase button one time, the data is getting recorded twice.
Okay.
So sometimes the mistakes are very silly. Sometimes there are like actually the wrong conversations like Facebook is recording, right? So what we do is we bring data from all these sources at one place and in a shopper dashboard where you
Mm-hmm.
can see like all the conversions that happened on Facebook, and then you can compare with the sales that happened on that day, right? So if there is a if there's a difference, you can see there were a couple of transactions which were like wrongly recorded at Facebook ends or at your end, right?
Okay.
Next thing that we are building currently is allowing people to track these campaigns end to end. So we are working on a technology which will like you will embed certain codes, parameters with your Facebook ad accounts,
Mm-hmm.
and then we would be able to track those conversions on Shopper. So then you don't need to rely on Facebook's data to like track the conversion. So that is something we are currently working on that would be available to all our customers.
Okay. Now, are you also working with other platforms besides Facebook? Because, you know, there are companies that do, you know, AdWords and they may do Ad Center, so omni-channel type of tracking.
Right. So right now we integrate with three marketing channels. One is Facebook ads, other is Google ads, and third one is Mailchimp.
Okay.
So when we started building, a lot of people were using Mailchimp for their marketing campaigns. We would be adding more integrations like Active Campaigns, Sendinblue, and other players are there for marketing, email marketing.
Okay.
But mainly for ads, people rely on Facebook and Google, so we would be keeping them and creating more features available to users for that. In terms of e-commerce, we integrate with Shopify, BigCommerce, WooCommerce, and Magento. So
Okay.
these platforms usually cover about 80-90% of e-commerce websites.
Okay. Okay. Now, when building out, let's say, a strategy around your marketing and you're leveraging your analytics,
Right.
what would you recommend would be the best strategies to use um, to build out something that's data driven and it's not based on just, I guess you would say, guesswork?
Right. So I would definitely recommend people to use customer segments. A lot of time, what happens is people don't understand their customer segments, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as a no matter if you are into e-commerce or if you are into a SaaS product or if you are doing services, right?
Mm-hmm.
You will always have multiple offerings for your customers, right? So it's not like one size fits all. So a lot of people would target like only similar audiences to all of their customers.
Okay.
Even email campaigns are like to the whole database. So that should not be the case when you are, let's say, when you use a tool like Shopper, it will give you all your customer segment. That will help you understand who are your big spenders, who are your loyal customers, who are your active customers, who are like one-time purchasers, who are the people who like to use coupons when they make purchase, right?
Okay.
So these type of customer segments are there. Then you can define strategy around that. So let's say if there are customers who are big spenders, so then you can like upsell your high ticket products to them, right?
Okay.
They're anyway spending more money, and they would be obviously interested in like premium products from you. So then
Okay.
why sending them like regular stuff, right?
Okay. Okay. So with those segments, you can then do your campaigns specifically for per segment instead of one size fits all for everybody.
Correct, correct.
Okay. Okay. Now, also with the analytics, you can also do retargeting with
So
that.
so what happens is that shopper gives this segment data. So then you can use this segment data to create a retargeting audience.
Okay.
You can also utilize it to like create a lookalike audience on Facebook. Let's say if you have a big spenders,
Hmm.
who are other big spenders who you can acquire. So just like upload this audience on Facebook, create a lookalike like audience, and
Hmm.
start like running ads for your premium products on those big spenders lookalike, right?
Okay.
Similar, you can run email campaigns for those kind of segments.
Okay. Now, one other question. This is for those that love to look at the numbers.
Right.
How often do you check your numbers, your reports? Is this something that you are looking at weekly, monthly, daily, hourly?
So for me and our clients, so most of the people are like actively running ads. So what they would do is, so when we started like building Shopper, this was one of the points that I wanted to understand from the customer, that
Hmm.
how much time they spend on various dashboards. So
Okay.
when, let's say, you are running an e-commerce store,
Hmm.
you would come in early morning in the office, you will see like the sales from the yesterday. So look at your store dashboard, then again you will go to Facebook ads dashboard to understand like what is happening there. Then
Hmm.
you will go to your Google ads dashboard. Then you will, if you have run like email campaigns yesterday, you'll go to your email dashboard. So there's
Okay.
like so many dashboard. People spend 3-4 hours every day just looking at the numbers, right?
Yeah.
So what we did is like we brought all the like important numbers in one single place. So you come, you log into Shopper, you see all like all the numbers together, like very beautifully put in nice reports. So it
Okay.
saves a lot of time. So about 70% time is decreased for people who were spending time on various dashboards. Now they just log into one platform and then look at the numbers.
Okay. That makes sense. That helps out a lot. I mean, saving time is saving money.
Yeah.
So
So
that really helps.
for me, I am like very crazy about numbers. So I look at twice a day for like our customer reports and stuff. But we have a very nice like a display in our office where we see like how many users are signing up and things like that. So
Okay.
that actually motivates the team, and those numbers are increasing. They see it, and then they realize that whatever work they're doing is actually making an impact out there.
Okay. Okay. So if somebody wanted to use your solution to, basically track their analytics,
Right.
are you offering like a trial or what's the best way for them to get
Yes.
engaged with it?
So earlier we had 14-day trial, then we increased it to 30-day for even like people to have like more days to actually make the decisions.
Hmm.
During this situation, if like somebody is struggling with their business, if they can reach out, we are even increasing the trial to up to 90 days.
Oh,
So if
wow. So you're
uh,
giving a whole quarter to test it out in
yes,
certain cases.
yeah,
Okay. Okay. So that'll help because it does take some companies at least a few days to get everything put in. Something as simple as a pixel
right.
can sometimes take a couple of days to put in, depending on the workload of the company, how agile they are and or not. So that's great. That's great. So are there any like closing best practices that you would give or last minute thoughts that you would say, focus on this and this will help expedite your process of success?
Yes. So definitely for the people, not only from e-commerce segment, but from other segments, not only Shopper, there are various other tools in the market which would help you optimize your business processes. So figure out those right kind of tools and use them from early stage. That is one. Second is never like underestimate the power of data, right? So any kind of business decisions you are making, always rely on numbers and not just like intuition or what somebody is saying. So no
Okay.
guru can help you out. Always back your decisions by data and use proper tools for them. So
That's reminds me of a saying. They say women lie, men lie, but numbers don't lie.
correct.
So that is so true. Well, thanks so much for coming on and sharing. Everybody is very, very critical that you have your data, that information is there, and you're tracking it. Because if you're not, you most likely, and I would say almost 100% of the time, are losing money somewhere because you're not being able to track what you're doing. So it's very important to have your analytics set up, especially if you're in e-commerce, because you need to know what conversion rates look like, what's your bottom line. You can't really make those decisions if you don't know the numbers. So I encourage you to go ahead over and have a trial. See how it is. It'll save you at least 2 or 3 hours, instead of looking at different dashboards, you can see it in one place. And that's a value in itself. Because like I said, time is money, and you'll spend a whole lot of time and money trying to look at different analytics and try to make them make sense. So, having a solution that can consolidate everything and make it make sense is very important. And I definitely want to thank you for coming on and sharing all the information, as well as being very generous with the trial offer for our listeners.
Definitely. Thank you so much. I thoroughly enjoyed the conversations, and I look forward to like our further interactions. If there's anything that I can help you out with, or or your users, feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to help. And
Great.
yeah,
Thank you. All
thank
right.
you.